Morning, all. All right, so reporting from the city of Las Vegas for the first time in roughly 3 years on the Hockey Channel. There was a video put up on the Entertainment Guy channel last night. News of the day video for all you fine people. The board is well, the big boards are all at home, so you got me. The strip, the view of the strip, as beautiful as it might be, of course, you're going to get glare with the window. And I thought about, well, I could put the shades down, but then it's going to look, well, it's just, anyways. I'm not all that concerned. We're looking forward to today and all the adventures that might be. So the adventures that we have are going to be posted to the Entertainment Guy channel, and then on the Hockey Channel, you guys will still be getting daily hockey content from me. Just not anywhere near as much as you normally would in terms of what I'm recording today and throughout the week. Although Sunday, there may be more on Sunday. All right, so let's go ahead and start things off with Kirill Kaprizov. The good news for Minnesota Wild fans, of course, is that Kirill the Thrill is back in the United States. He left Russia yesterday. Sounds like everything's all straightened out, so his work visa issues must have been cleared up. That's what prevented him from entering the U.S. the 2 times that he tried previously. So that's all straightened out, and I think the plan is for him to stay now in the United States until training camp and throughout this upcoming season. So that's one concern if you're a Minnesota fan that's kind of gone by the wayside. So that's good news. Of course, there are other concerns with Minnesota, but as long as Kirill's playing, then everything will be just fine. Now, I did the power rankings yesterday. I talked about Kirill, and there you go. I recorded the power rankings on Sunday. It worked itself out by the time those power rankings went live on Monday. So, see, it's the magical powers that I don't know that I don't even know what my powers could do, but there's powers there. The Nazem Kadri issue. So I wanted to talk about the Nazem Kadri issue and the fact that basically it sounds like the New York Islanders have a deal worked out, depending on which source you're going through. It sounds like he will be an Islander. There's a debate, though, about whether or not that's a done deal, and then there's the debate, too, about how much cap space are they going to have to make for him. So the Islanders do not currently have the cap space in order to sign Kadri for the amount of money that it's going to take. So you end up in a situation where he's probably verbally committed to signing. Maybe he's already signed, but they can't, actually put that in. They don't want to be over the cap. So they're looking to make cap space, is the rumor. And I had figured that while we were in the air for an a huge amount of time yesterday, we were in holding for, it felt like an hour. But I figured by the time I landed that I would have to do a quick video at the airport saying, hey, so Kadri's an Islander. Did not happen. I still think that's where it's headed, though. There are other rumors, too, obviously, that Colorado would love to have him back, and they would. Calgary, of course, being a team that's been rumored to be in on him, but I think with their situation with Mangiapane, with Shillington, I think that makes things more difficult for Calgary. So, yeah, it sounds like Kadri's probably going to be an Islander. Does it happen today? Well, I'm going to be out wandering around. I'm not going to be in the hotel room much today, so while we're out wandering, if it happens, the tricky part whenever you're going through a Vegas hotel is there could very well be copyrighted music playing, and they sometimes don't like you filming in the casino or in certain areas. So, anyways, we'll see what happens. But I'm perfectly willing to do videos on the fly when we're out, and people who've watched this channel for years know that I'll film videos wherever. Kevin Weeks is not the only one that will do that. Although Weeks is very, very, very creative in how he does it, and I'm entertained by that. All right, Jesper Bratt. He is seeking $6.5 million from the Devils. They're offering $4.15 million. That hearing is tomorrow. 6.5 versus 4.15, those numbers are not close. So now the New Jersey Devils get to go in and try to argue why he's not worth 6.5, and he gets to try to argue why the New Jersey Devils are cheap. So yeah, for Jesper Bratt, this is not an ideal situation. For the Devils, it's not anytime you're going to arbitration is not ideal. But it feels like we're seeing more potential arbitration cases this year than normal. Feels like we're seeing a lot of them. So yeah, we'll see how this all turns out, but I would hope that saner heads prevail, and between now and tomorrow they come to some kind of an agreement. Meet in the middle. Give them 5, give them 5.5. I don't know. Maybe make it a 2-year deal at 6.5. Whatever they're going to do, you crazy kids in New Jersey. All right, so the reason I'm wearing a Vegas Golden Knights jersey, not just because I'm in the city of Las Vegas, and not just because it's one of the few teams I brought. I did not bring all 32 teams. I did not pack my suitcases full to the point where I was worried it was going to be oversized luggage. I packed very light this time around, and so Vegas is one of the ones I'm wearing, but I'm wearing it for this video because basically Laurent Brossoit's status for training camp and the start of the season is as of yet unknown. The good news is, of course, you got Logan Thompson, you've got Leonard. Goaltending in Vegas should not be a big deal, but it was hip surgery for Brossoit. And anytime it's hip surgery and a goaltender, there's always that concern of whether or not it might bother them later. There's also the concern that in the event that it could be a lingering thing, right? That you could be looking at a lingering issue when it's a hip. So at any rate, I'm hoping that Brossoit comes back quickly, and that Vegas has a good problem to have, that they have 3 NHL level goaltenders at a time where goaltending, and I'm starting to read articles now on how goaltending's in decline. It's funny to me that Colorado wins the Stanley Cup without a superior goaltending performance from Kemper. Without a steal of a series like Vasilevsky's capable of, and all of a sudden it looks like goaltending's in decline. Yeah, I heard that in 2010. It definitely cycles, but I don't think it's in decline. That's not how I see it. But you guys can let me know in the comment section below if you think it's in decline. All right, Leon Draisaitl. So there's a debate that the NHL fantasy rankings have set off, the official NHL ones. Leon Draisaitl is listed by them as the #1 left winger in the NHL. He's not listed in the top 10 centers. I thought Draisaitl spent a lot of time at center this past year, that he wasn't playing with McDavid nearly as much as he had in previous seasons. They do put them together, but it's more of a nuclear option, sort of like as Chicago had with putting Taves and Kane together. And I was kind of surprised not to see Draisaitl listed as a center, because I think he primarily plays center. So, yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on that one as well. Do you think Draisaitl plays in the middle this year, or do you think he's on the wing? I think he plays down the middle. I don't think they keep Evander Kane so that Draisaitl can stay on the wing. I think you get Kane. I think you try to improve your wingers so that you, down the middle, can boast McDavid, Draisaitl, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That's a 1 through 3 that most teams would envy. So, yeah, I again, let me know your thoughts. Yakov Trenin and the Nashville Predators are awaiting a ruling on their arbitration hearing today. It's not as much of a difference between Nashville and the player. I'm kind of surprised this one ended up going to arbitration. But again, maybe GMs are playing hardball and saying, you know what, we'll roll the dice. And then, of course, you have the option of walking away from an arbitrator's ruling, which then makes the player a free agent. So if the Trenin contract doesn't work for Nashville, if the award isn't something they like, they can just give him up. I don't think they do, but we've seen teams angry about rulings. We've seen players angry about rulings. It's not a great setup. I also want to mention too that the Hockey Guy channel has now passed 249,000 subscribers as of last night. Thank you guys so much. It's going to hit 250,000, I would think, soon. Now, I'm hoping it doesn't hit 250,000 while I'm still here, because it's harder for me to put together a 250,000 video. You would think it'd be easier in Vegas, but as I mentioned, copyrighted music and all that, it might be harder for me to put that together here. But I may try to figure something out if it happens while I'm in the city that really doesn't sleep. Although, if you look at the streets early in the morning, I think that's when the people sleep. But, yeah, it's amazing. And then on the Entertainment Guy channel, the numbers are at 20,705. I did post a video without a hat last night because I got some new clothes and I was like, a hockey hat's not going to work with this. I can't do this. So I posted the first Las Vegas video, and because it was at night, instead of seeing that glare off the window, it was a nice view of the strip and the lights from the strip. So yeah. I'm excited about the growth of both channels. Thank you guys so much for that. It's been a pretty good summer in terms of growth. And it means that there's a video that I recorded last week that's going to post to the channel this week that now is already out of date. So kudos to you guys for making that happen, because I was doing one on the channel's numbers and I recorded that 2 days ago, and now the numbers are kind of completely different. So and then it'll give you a better idea of just how much growth, because I get into all the numbers. And so with me saying it's now past 249,000, you can look at that video and go, well, if he recorded this the night before he left on his vacation, that means. So yeah, there's that. All right, and then I want to close out talking about John Klingberg, which was actually something I wanted to talk about earlier, but I skipped it, realized I'd skipped it, and I thought I'll come back to it, so we're going to come back to it. John Klingberg signed a one-year deal with Anaheim, but he's already saying he does want a long-term deal when this is done, which makes sense. The problem is next summer he'll be 30, and once you have a player who's 30 or older, the longest term you usually see for a player who's 30 or older, and I say this before we know what Kadri gets, it's normally 5 years. I know that for it was 6 years, right, for Letang, but that's a different circumstance. This would be Klingberg either re-signing in Anaheim or going off somewhere else, maybe even back to Dallas. But I don't know that he's going to get the kind of term that he may want. I think he's just looking for job security for the rest of his career, and I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's reasonable for hockey players. But we'll see what he gets. I think he might have overplayed his hand. That's one thing that was said by a lot of reporters when he changed agents just before signing the one-year deal with the Ducks, that he may have overplayed his hand here. I think he insisted on the 8-year deal with Dallas, and Dallas wasn't giving him that. And then he apparently either wasn't given the 7-year offers on the market, or it was at a cap hit that he didn't like. So we'll see what happens next summer. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.